Glory to Jesus.
Honor to Mary.
Thank you for your participation in this month's first Saturday devotion. And well, for the edification of somebody out there listening, I want to share with you something interesting. Well, if you have your WhatsApp, you can ask AI the same question, and the AI will answer you exactly the same answer. What did I ask? I said, condemnation of the heresy of Indifferentism from pre-Vatican II sources. And guess what? The AI pulled out. He said, here are some condemnations of the heresy of Indifferentism from pre-Vatican II sources. Well, first of all, what is the heresy of Indifferentism? This heresy says that one religion is as good as the other, that it doesn't matter which religion you practice, it doesn't matter which church you go, all of us are worshiping the same God, irrespective of what religion, irrespective of what church. But what is the true teaching? Let us hear the condemnation of Indifferentism, first by Pope Pius VII, who reigned between 1800 to 1823. All right, that is in the 19th century he lived. He said, it is an error to believe that all religions are equally good and that it is a matter of indifference which one is practiced. That was what the Pope thought. And then the next Pope again that condemned Indifferentism, Pope Gregory XVI, from 1831 to 1846. He said, the error of Indifferentism is a most pernicious and destructive doctrine which leads to the destruction of faith and the salvation of souls. When you embrace Indifferentism, you will fail to fulfill your duty, your due duty to God, and that your faith is destroyed and your salvation is endangered. Your salvation is endangered. And then Pope Pius IX, from 1846 to 1878, he said, the doctrine of Indifferentism is a most false and pernicious error, which is contrary to the teaching of the Catholic Church. Again, I read that. The doctrine of Indifferentism is a most false and pernicious error, which is contrary to the teaching of the Catholic Church. Well, many today who identify as Catholics promote this heresy, this doctrine of Indifferentism. That shows that they do not proclaim, they do not have the Catholic faith in their soul. Because as a Catholic, you couldn't profess a doctrine condemned by the Catholic Church. And then another condemnation, it says, it is an error to believe that it is a matter of indifference which religion is practiced as long as one is sincere and upright. That we find that in the syllabus of errors. All right, and then Pope Leo XIII, Pope Leo XIII, 1878 to 1903, he said, the error of Indifferentism is a most pernicious and destructive doctrine which leads to the destruction of faith and the salvation of souls. Basically, repeating what Pope Pius IX said before him. And then Pope Pius XI condemned Indifferentism again in these words. the doctrine of indifferentism is a most false and pernicious error which is contrary to the teaching of the Catholic Church, repeating again the doctrines of the popes before him. And then we have the teaching of the last Pope, Pope Pius XII. He said, the error of indifferentism is a most pernicious and destructive doctrine which leads to the destruction of the faith and the salvation of souls. You find this in his encyclical Humani Generis. Alright, he wrote this in 1950. So you see, all these popes, beginning from the 1800s to 1950, they consistently condemned the heresy of indifferentism. But today, those who cling to the Catholic name profess and promote indifferentism, alright? And of course, either they are deceived, which we pity them, or they are simply being malicious. Well, to those who are deceived in good faith, we pray that someday, of course, they are enlightened to see the truth. And of course, for those who have been malicious, we pray for their forgiveness and that they too may see the light of the truth and embrace it. Okay? So these condemnations illustrate the consistent teaching of the Catholic Church against the heresy of indifferentism, which holds that all religions are equally good and that it is a matter of indifference which one is practiced. Well, if until today you thought that was a nice thing to say, that it doesn't matter what religion you practice, that it doesn't matter what church you go, you know today that that is contrary to divine faith. It is contrary to the revealed truth. It is a condemned heresy. And a Christian cannot, the Christian faith cannot cohabit with heresy in the soul. Alright? And heresy leads not to salvation, but to damnation. As the psalmist will say, oh, that today you will listen to his voice, harden not your heart.